Good afternoon, St. Bernards, and welcome to another devotional. Speeding. Have any of you exceeded the speed limit? Guilty. What keeps you from speeding? Some answers might be protecting the other guy, safety, road conditions, etc. The real answer is getting caught. We have a rule that we ignore until we are in danger of being caught. Fortunately, most people do drive fairly close to the speed limit and everything seems to work. So basically, we have an understanding of what is right and what is wrong. We have a moral compass. Moral, conforming to a standard of right behavior. The opposite of moral is immoral. Well, simple enough. Evil is defined as profoundly immoral. Moral, immoral, or good and evil, these words are almost seen as unimportant or nebulous in our society today. In this society of I'm okay, you're okay, even the discussion of moral or immoral or good and evil has succumbed to the notion of being deemed archaic. How many times have we heard, well, whatever makes you happy is all that is important? Well, what happens when a long-standing morals get challenged? Quoting Ben Shapiro, without a clear moral vision, we devolve into moral relativism, and from there into oblivion. Moral relativism is the view that moral judgments are true or false only relatives to some particular standpoint, for instance, that of a culture or a historical period, and that no standpoint is uniquely privileged over all others. We are a social species, which when united is wonderful, but when divided, we go off into multiple directions. Rather than being unified in our morals, we follow the modern-day moral GPS of moral relativism. And a good acronym for GPS is getting pretty scattered. How many times have we heard someone say, well, it was the right thing to do, when expounding on a good work or a charitable act? So it tells me that we know what is right and what is wrong. What happens when we know what is right, the right thing to do, and simply ignore it? Look around and observe how many encounters reported on TV and social media, etc., of people in conflict with authorities when they are wrong or choose to be confrontational during a simple investigation. They are obviously in the wrong, but chime in to say that they're protecting their rights. Gossip and/or sensationalization of events is a billion-dollar business and is disguised as social media. Look at our elected officials and their behavior when political views are being questioned. Rather than defending their views with sound statements, they attack their opponent. Nightly news is no longer reporting the news, but it's a no-holds-barred, free-for-all verbal war between expert panelists and the latest hot topic. Parents give their teenagers a curfew of 10 p.m. and the teenagers show up at 3 a.m. In the same scenario, the parents ignore the teenagers' disregard for the curfew and excuse it by saying it's just those tough teenage years. What are all of these examples missing? Respect. Respect is one of the core moral values. A person who respects others is self-disciplined, obedient, and shows honor to others. He or she cares for others. What is respect? Respect means giving value to someone or something. When we respect someone, we show great admiration and love to that person. Romans 12 tells us, your love must be sincere. Detest what is evil, cling to what is good, love one another with the affection of brothers. Anticipate each other in showing respect. Do not grow slack, but be fervent in spirit. He who you serve is the Lord. Rejoice in hope, be patient under trial, and persevere in prayer. Our actions do affect other people. How often do we hear this statement, "I wish they could do something about that"? Keep in mind, most of the time, we are the they. Common morals bring people together. Moral relativism divides people. But nobody is going to tell me what to do. Here's the conundrum with the nobody is going to tell me what to do, or I'm okay, you're okay way of thinking. We know what is right, but we choose to do something wrong just to satisfy our wants and desires. Worse yet, we do what is wrong only to fit with the crowd. But I'm asking you one question. When making a decision that you know is morally wrong, are you being respectful? Respectful to others and respectful to yourself? I would challenge you that if you choose wrong over right, you are deceiving yourself. On the outside, you may feel you are justified, but on the inside, you know it's wrong. If we are honest, open our eyes, our hearts, and look around, it doesn't take long to see the lack of respect has on society. We are born with a moral sense because our biological makeup determines the presence of three necessary conditions for ethical behavior. Number one, the ability to anticipate the consequences of one's own actions. Number two, the ability to make value judgments. And number three, the ability to choose between alternate courses of action. Here's the dilemma. We have a choice to respect this morality or dismiss this morality. We must return to what Jesus told us in Luke chapter 6. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Society pushes us to be individuals. This has some merit. However, if we choose wrong over right, we fail to respect. We fail to respect others, and more importantly, we fail to respect ourselves. So why do I bring all of this up anyway? As mentioned earlier, our actions affect others. I pointed out the negative effects, but our positive actions also affect others. Imagine what could happen if everyone went through the respect litmus test. Have respect when it is easy, but more important, when it is hard. When that respect includes discipline and correction. Hard when it involves choosing the less popular road. And hard when it requires you to choose between your own wants and desires as opposed to right and wrong. As mentioned, we are born with the ability to anticipate the consequences of our own actions. Paul tells us in Ephesians 5, "Be sure of this, that no immoral or impure or greedy person, that is, an adulterer, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God." I would like to leave you with one thought. I respect. It's the right thing to do.